Okay, so in this game, I am playing an opponent that is rated about 100 points less than myself, and I am using the Alkehine defense, Scandinavian variation, and he is using the Gishev Gambit. Now, I'm a Gambit player, some, but not a lot, and the Gambit is it's still, to me, this particular gambit falls into those trap chests where you basically need your opponent to make mistakes. You really have no strategy. You stay along the theoretical lines of the gambit, and your main strategy is that you're banking on your opponent making a mistake, and that may work, but when you start playing players that are advanced intermediates like myself, a lot of those tricks are not gonna work. You're gonna have to force some moves. So let's see how this player ended up on the losing end. And it wasn't that he couldn't play; it's just some of the moves were forced. Just take a look. So he opens with e4, and then immediately I play d5, attacking that center pawn. He takes. I don't take the center pawn, like the move the engine generator is suggesting, and now it's telling me to take so we can trade knights. Nope. He plays knight c3. I play c6, and then he plays bishop, and then I play the move e6. Now, and I played that move so to give him a choice and for him to reveal his hand to me. But this is also a little trap of my own. I'm gonna let him just take material, these pawns, because I know that in the end that I will have a very strong position and that he will pay the ultimate price. So D takes C6, bishop C5, C takes B7, and bishop takes b7. Now, if you look at the position, I have a very strong bishop here on on this file, controlling this entire diagonal on the c file, and then I have a strong bishop here at b7 that's controlling this entire file, and he has the castle, or he would like the castle to the short side, and he's got two bishops eyeing down and preventing him from well, it's not preventing him from castling, but I would not like the castle to that side with both bishops attacking that side. And I'm controlling, he has a piece of the center. I'm controlling more of the center because I'm controlling this square, this square, this square, this square, this square, this square, and he's not. So I like my position here. Now I move the knight, advance the knight to either capture a rook or maybe just disrupt him from having any kind of getting together any type of counterplay. So of course he plays the move um, d4 to block the protection of the knight if he were to go and make a fork, forcing the not allowing the king to capture him, and forcing me to have not have the privilege of taking either his queen or his rook. So that was a good move. Um, but instead, I sacrifice and I take his knight, threaten his queen, and then I immediately come up and protect my knight, threatening his bishop with my queen. He threatens and I take, and then I get the bishop. Yes, he does get the rook, and then I castle. I bring the knight. He gets the knight. Now watch this. This move order um, was really good because what I want to do is capture his queen and just get her off the board. and he's being set up for a discover check because I've kind of got a feel for how he likes to play. So I opened this file here and then waited. And sure enough, he did exactly what I thought he would do, which is castle queen side because he's been wanting to play the Scandinavian defense the whole time. And I never would, I would not humor him on that, and just kind of want to play my game and stay consistent with Alkaline. So right here, of course, the generator is pointing to the square, and that's exactly what I'm going to play. Um, B takes E3 check. Bishop takes E3 check. The queen is not protected. She's hanging. And now I take his queen. And then I threaten the rook. Now I threaten the rook again. Actually, I'm really just protecting the bishop. And eventually grab this pawn over here. So now start pushing this pawn forward. He grabs. And now I pin rook b8, pinning this pawn, which was a very very key move, which actually led to the checkmating sequence, which I've actually started the checkmating sequence. One is to pin down, put a piece right on his king, and pin this pawn to the king because I have the dark square bishop. I have the stronger bishop on the board, and he threatens. I threaten to take his knight while protecting the bishop. He comes down with a discovered fork. However, the bishop is there. And then he threatens, but he forgets that this piece is pinned, so it can't capture it because you can't take a piece and expose your king to check. So the piece is well guarded. Um, the computer is suggesting check and trade off the rook so that he can grab the bishop. That would be a good move, but he didn't. Instead, he moved. So I grabbed the pawn check. He had to move back, check, and I took. And now I have all of his both his rooks, and that's checkmate. So this is what I mean when a lot of his moves was forced. So my strategy forced a lot of the moves uh, from the beginning. Like from the very beginning, this he wanted to play the Scandinavian. I did not. So I let him choose his fate. This was me. I'm in control. He's not in control. But although he thinks he's in control, everything that he thought that I might do, I didn't do. To include letting me have this knight and waiting for the opportunity to castle queen side. If the way I look at it is he's been wanting to play the Scandinavian, you castle queen side always when you play the Scandinavian. So if he's wanting to play that line, he's gonna castle queen side. And this pawn right here is in direct line with the king. So thinking ahead, knowing what your opponent wants to do, which is something I talked about in an earlier video, will allow you to play some very strategic chess, some very tactical chess. And the next move was the perhaps the most detrimental of them all, because although he is way up in material, he doesn't possess the skill set to utilize two rooks and a knight versus me with just a queen and a rook and a bishop. He just didn't have the playing ability. Played well, played fairly well. I think against a lower ranked opponent, he would have easily won, but not not against someone that plays the level of chess that I play at this time. Like I said, I'm not an international master or grandmaster, but I'm when you're playing lower level opponents, they like to use gambits and trap chess. So you see a lot of these different moves, and once you start to learn the moves, you know exactly what they want to do next. All right, thanks for watching, and remember to hit the subscribe button. and leave a comment.